Hello everyone, and welcome to this video where we're gonna
Welcome to my absolutely mad party!
have a look at some of the main features, bonus features in particular, of the Absolutely Mad slot. What we're going to do is run through 100 spins, the minimum bet of 20 pence, and we're going to look at some of the different features of the slot. We're going to start off with what we saw on the very first spin and the third spin there, which is the wild symbol. This is the gold coin with the Mad Hatter's hat on. This serves two purposes in the game. Firstly, it's a substitute symbol for all symbols on the reel. That's important, as we'll find out later. That means when it lands, it can trigger one or more pay lines in conjunction with other symbols. Sometimes it will just land and not trigger a win, but that's not a bad thing, as the key other aspect of it is that every time you land a wild on the reels, you've got a chance of triggering the jackpot bonus game. And the more wilds that you land, as you saw in that last spin we landed 2, the more chance you have of triggering the jackpot bonus. The wilds land relatively frequently in the game. You'll see when you play through. I think from my personal experience it tends to be around sort of 33% of the time. Maybe a little more in some sessions, maybe a little less in others, that you'll land a wild. Obviously the more wilds you land, the more chance you have of landing a better value win. You can land them stacked on the reels. That is when you can land some decent wins. So that's pretty much all you need to know about the wild symbol. The next bonus feature we're going to look at is the rolling reels feature, which you've already seen in action a couple of times. Any win like that, we'll see the symbols disappear and then symbols will drop down from above. This can trigger other wins, as you've just seen there, and the multiplier trail will increase, which you can see at the bottom of the reels, from 1 to 2 to 3 and then up to a maximum of 5. So the more successive rolling reels wins you land, the more chance you have of getting a better multiplier, as you can see there. So with that, from that rolling reel spin we landed a win of £1.70, which isn't a bad return from a 20 pence spin. Rolling reels is the key feature of Absolutely Mad. It's the first time it's been available on a Mega Moolah slot. And it is active in both the base game and also free spins, which we'll come on to a little bit later. Rolling reels, what I tend to find is that you can tend to get up to the 2 or even the 3 times multiplier relatively frequently, but landing those 5 times wins is considerably more tricky. And when you do land them in the base game, which isn't often, they can be pretty sizable wins, but they can also be pretty small wins, because you could trigger them with just 3 of the lower value symbols, such as the playing card symbol you can see on the screen. It tends to be if you land them with wilds and the higher value symbols, such as the Mad Hatter, butterfly or the rabbit, that you get a better value win. The third and final bonus is the free spins bonus, which we do trigger in this session. It is nearer the end of the session. So I'm going to talk about the free spins a little bit later on in the video. What you'll find here is this is a run of spins where we don't really land a huge amount of wins. This is all part of the variant of a progressive slot. It's not a fault. It's not evidence that the slot wants you to lose or wants you to win or anything like that. In a game like this where there are potentially billions and billions of different outcomes on every spin, you're going to hit runs of maybe 10, maybe even 20 spins where you don't land a win, or if you do land a win, it's a very small amount. By the same token, you are going to have sessions where you will string together some good value wins one after the other and end up with a decent profit at the end of those spins. It's precisely how the game is meant to work. The same goes with any of the bonus features. Sometimes they will offer you a chance of triggering the bonuses that you want almost every couple of spins. In other times you can play for 100 spins like we're doing here and not even get close to triggering the bonuses once. Again, it's not a fault of the game. It's exactly how it's meant to be played. It is frustrating for players if you're looking for consistency, but slot games by their very nature aren't consistent animals. They're not ones that are designed to offer you the same sort of return every time you play. Otherwise there would essentially be no point playing them. They'd either be profitable for the casinos and not profitable for players, in which case nobody would want to play them, or they'd be profitable for players and the casinos wouldn't want to stop them. So it's a balance between the two. Now we're coming up to the 70th spin now. As you can see, we've not triggered the jackpot bonus game. We don't trigger it on this session either. It is very difficult to trigger, even if you do land a wild. Every spin you see where we don't land a wild, there's no chance of triggering the jackpot bonus, such as that spin there. However, if you land a wild on the reels, then you have a chance, but it is only a very, very, very slim chance of triggering the jackpot bonus game.
Magnificent.
On a spin like that where you land several with wilds, your chances increase much more, but again, they're still only very slight. That spin there, actually, we won more on that single spin than we win in the free spins round at the end of the game, as you'll see. Which again is part of the game design. It is, it is volatile in terms of the value of payouts. It does tend to pay out relatively frequently. This session hasn't cost me a huge amount of money so far, but there can be times when a session will cost you a large amount of your bankroll. There are other times when you'll land a good value win, and especially in free spins, and your bankroll will bounce back and you may even land a profit. Since I recorded this video, the jackpot's now crept up beyond 10.8 million, and at the current rate it looks like it's going to crash through the 11 million mark at some point over the next couple of days. And here what we've got is the free spins trigger, the scatter in first,
Absolutely mad.
and 2 wilds, because the wilds can replace scatters. This now triggers 8 free spins.
Extraordinary.
Again, this is volatile, as you'll see when I eventually click the button. There are a lot of spins where we don't win anything at all, and some where we only win a small amount. Remember, the multiplier trail reel has increased in value, so we got 3, 6, 9 and 15 times. So the wins are greatly increased, but with only 8 free spins, you have to take your chances. And of course, there's nothing you can do about that. It's just how the spins work out for you. I thought that was a particularly unlucky spin, 3 wilds, and we didn't win a single thing. There we go. At the end of the round, we landed a £1.67 win, which isn't great, but isn't too bad. And then we finished the spins there. And that shows you all the different bonus features on Absolutely Mad. Not the best session, but at least you got to see all the key bonus features apart from the jackpot bonus game. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.